It's 29-18. That'll change tonight as the Mavs pay a visit to the Toyota Center. Dallas will have to try and get the win without their all-star starter, Luka Doncic, the NBA's leader in triple-doubles this season. He has a mild ankle sprain. Doncic had the same injury in December and missed 4 games. According to multiple reports, that timetable for his return is 2 to 4 weeks. Now, without Luka, the Mavs were 2-2 in December, but it's like a who's who in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee, Philly, Boston, Miami. Those were the 4 teams they faced, and they stopped Milwaukee's 18-game winning streak in that span. So knowing this information, 3D, do you look at this game and go, wait, okay, I still like Dallas's chances against Houston without Luka?
Yeah, it's because it's Houston, and because you know there's a style of play, and they're going to be up and down, taking wild threes and so forth, and Rick Carlisle will have a plan to understand that this is how we're going to play and not get caught up in it and not having Luka, right, Sekou? So you have to understand something, Chris. One thing about Rick Carlisle, he will make sure, with Luka, without Luka, to have a game plan knowing that there's going to be a lot of threes taken, a lot of long rebounds, and how can his team capitalize off of it.
Don't forget also that when they missed him those 4 games previously, that's when Kristaps Porzingis looked like he got into a rhythm because he was getting some of those number 1 touches. He wasn't playing
25
off the ball.
and 14 are the numbers.
Exactly. He wasn't playing off of Luka. He was the focal point. So if they could find somebody, whether it's Porzingis or anybody else on that roster, to step up and play big the way he did in those 4 games that Luka missed earlier, then you're talking about a team that's got a chance to stay competitive and win night after night.
Sekou, I'm going to try to put on my nerd glasses here and look at some Russell Westbrook putting up Sekou Smith MVP ladder numbers in January. You ready? 32, 8, and 8 on 52% shooting. Is this the new Rockets Russell Westbrook that we expect to see from him the rest of the season? Because we didn't see that the first couple of months he wore that Houston
I don't know.
jersey.
Look, this is that old school teeter-totter. You know, Russ goes up, and something goes down on the other end. James Harden is suffering through one of his worst stretches in a long time. We haven't seen them balance it out and both play at that ultra-elite level just yet. I think, if anything, if you're Mike D'Antoni, you want to see Russ continue to play really well like this, and you need to get James Harden out of his funk and get him back to shooting it and playing at the MVP level he's played at for the past few years.
Chris, when they're exciting is when both of those guys are able to play and flow. Like the transition, get stops, shoot threes, get to the basket, free throw line. That's their defense. But if they don't get off to a good start making shots, then it comes down to half-court offense, one-on-one, the defense gets a chance to set. That's what we've seen, to Sekou's point. That's the struggle we've seen lately from James Harden because he's not making shots. Like the other night, he wasn't making shots, but Russ was. They still lost heavily. So until they figure out what both guys can play together and get Clint Capella back 100% as well, because he rolls to the basket, normally takes 2 people with him. When he's out on the floor, it's like, oh, well, never mind, we don't have to roll. We can concentrate on those 2 guys with 2 people.
Yeah, James Harden has scored over 30 just once in his last 6 games, has scored under 20 3 different times. I mean, this is the NBA's leading scorer. So he's certainly someone that we're going to pay very close attention to going forward. That includes tonight. How about Derrick Rose? Can I get a clap for my man, D. Rose?
Yeah, come on, baby.
13 straight games of 20-plus. He didn't even do that in his MVP season. Facing the Raptors tonight at 7. Starter Pascal Siakam and his Raptors have won 9 straight. They face the Pistons tonight. But is he a fantasy play? Let's welcome in our friend of the program, Tim Doyle, to try to figure some things out. Doyle, let's start with Luka Doncic. Star of this league, all-star starter, playing in the Futures game, but not playing tonight. So what do you do for the Mavs without Luka?
I think the biggest key when you're setting daily fantasy lineups is knowing who's going and who's not. And now that Doncic is not going to be going for the foreseeable future, you have to carve up 20 and a half shots. You have to carve up 29 points per game. And you know this, when a star player is out, guys sit around the locker room being like, I'm going to get his shots. No, I'm going to get his shots. And we expect Kristaps Porzingis, his production to go up. And frankly, his numbers have been much better on the year when Doncic is not on the floor because he starts to get in that 17, 18 shot range. But there are other value guys on the Mavericks. Seth Curry, he's really boom or bust. Last 2 games, Chris, he's only scored a combined 20 points. But over the last 6 weeks, he has had 5 games of 20-plus points or more. And lastly, I think a guy like J.J. Barea is going to get more playing time because Rick Carlisle trusts a guy like Barea. He's been in his system a long time, and he just has to get this team to the All-Star break. So at $3,600, the 35-year-old from Northeastern, I think is a smart value play.
Well, it's been a smart value play for the entire month of January to go with Derrick Rose, but now his price is starting to rise. Is he a guy you want to stay away from now? At what was it, $7,300?
I know. Do you remember when it was at like 4,800?
I do.
Like 5,000? And now it is starting to skyrocket, but I still think he's a wise play. You want to know why? He wants out of Detroit. He wants out of there badly. So this is like his mixtape. This is his recruiting tape. This is, for what TV folks like to say, this is his reel. He wants to show everybody everything. And this year he's averaging 19 points a game, 6 assists, and he's shooting just a hair under 50% from the floor. You know, being in Chicago since 2003, I remember Dirk when he was at Simeon High School all the way through and winning MVPs. And he was, in my eyes, a 6'3" version of LeBron James from an athletic standpoint. But as time has worn on, I think his basketball IQ has gotten better, and I think his change of pace, because he was always playing so fast, so electric, so athletic. So as he's gotten older, he has aged like a fine wine, but the biggest thing is he wants out of Detroit.
For a half a second, I thought you said Knicks tape, and then I realized you said mixtape, so you got it right. All right, Devin Booker didn't get the All-Star nod. We saw Bradley Beal go off because he didn't get an All-Star nod, so you expecting that from Book?
I expect Devin Booker to have the I'm mad at the NBA game tonight. You remember the flu game that Jordan had? I think Devin Booker is going to have the I'm mad at the NBA game because I love the fact that he wants to play in the All-Star game. And he was genuinely upset that he didn't make the team. So I'm going to run him back tonight. And when I dive inside of his numbers, Chris, he's looking at realistically a 50, 40, 90 type year. And we all know what he's been doing scoring the basketball, 30-plus points in 5 out of the last 6 games. So, yes, I'm going to ride the emotional wave tonight of Devin Booker.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that he's in year 5 and still hasn't made an All-Star team, but has been a player putting up ridiculous numbers at times. Okay, any teams you're stacking tonight, just 6 games?
I'll tell you this, Pelicans and Grizzlies, 250. We may see 260 points. And fantasy-wise, we love that. Obviously, Ja Morant's been playing at a crazy high level. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. And Zion, you can get him at a good bargain price. I think this game is going to be up and down. Both teams average between 113, 114 points a game. So high possession game, high volume game. Everybody's going to be getting their numbers. So I don't think you have to spend a lot. I think you can just spend a few bucks and find some guys maybe below the radar because this game is going to be fun to watch.
I thought for a second you were looking for numbers coming out of the sky. I was like, where is he going with this one? But you always get your starting lineup together as far as the finances are concerned, so let's see it.
Anthony Davis, I'm going to run him out there tonight. Obviously, when you play him, he's capable of 40 and 20 any single night. There's Brandon Ingram. You know, he's actually struggled with Zion in the lineup, but I expect this to be such a high possession, high scoring game. That's why Crowder's out there. I think he's going to be good for 18 or 20 tonight. Barea, that's a great basement price. Dylan Brooks has been awesome. 20-plus points or more in 5 straight games. There's Porzingis, and there's Derrick Rose. Nothing against Detroit. We know that, right? My dad played for the Pistons back in the day. You know his stats when he was on the Pistons, right, Chris?
No, what you got for me?
He was a 30-30-30 guy. They were up by 30 or down by 30. My dad got in the game for like 30 seconds. So those were his stats. So I'm loyal to the Pistons. I just don't think Derrick Rose wants to play there anymore.
30-30-30, that's just a Doyle staple. I get what you did there. All right, Doyle, as always, friend of the program, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Chris.
Oh, man, 30-30-30. Could Zion Williamson one day put up 20, 10, 20, and 20? Maybe. Tonight's probably not the night against the Memphis Grizzlies as he faces off against Ja Morant. You're watching the warm-up presented by Ford.
I'm gonna shout it from the rooftop.
Shout it. Tell everyone.
Yeah, from the rooftop.
This is the place for the best of the game. Let them know hundreds of live games are at their fingertips.
Sledgehammer at the
Go full season or month to month. Watch all the teams or your team. And of course, you can stream on your phone, TV, or tablet. Tell everybody about NBA League Pass and go to NBA.com/watch to order.
Introducing Wendy's 2 for $5. The only 2 for $5 with Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef and the spicy chicken you crave. Choose from the Dave Single Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece crispy, or spicy nuggets. Pick any 2 for $5. Only at Wendy's.
Snow. Both innocent and treacherous. White crystals with black hearts. That's why the all-wheel drive Telluride comes with available snow mode.